as we see in V.S. Gaitonde's works, which delineate such an essence in its true essence. Though he was highly influenced by the Zen philosophy and the ancient connotations of calligraphy of the Far East, his ultimate growth was marked by an increasing inwardness, a search within. By punctuating his pictorial space with abstract signage and marks, Gaitonde's works represent an ethereal essence of tranquility synonymous to any spiritual experience. This was also the period when Indian artists were taking recourse to tantric philosophies, especially to the various correlations of the cosmic forms and shapes which had evolved with the sect. A few artists who were highly influenced by such thoughts were K.C.S. Panikkar, G.R. Santosh, Sohan Kadri, Biren Dev, Deepak Banerjee, et al. Most of them engaged themselves with the issues of materiality versus spirituality. G.R. Santosh was highly inspired by the philosophies of the great Kashmiri mystics Lal Ded and Nund Rishi, the renowned exponents of Kashmiri Shaivism. Being a very liberated personality himself, Santosh had once mentioned, the universal mind manifests itself by its own will, and when transformed in an artist's mind, becomes self-creative, unquote. This notion ultimately directed him towards self-realization. His works are therefore visual representations of the Shaivite symbols and various mystical ideals in quest of the impalpable mysteries of human thoughts, which otherwise is enwrapped in Maya. A spiritual experience often casts off the barrier between the self and the universal spirit when the subject and the object of experience both dissolve and get universalized. Such a transcendental experience could be experienced in the works of Nicholas Roerich, J. Swaminathan, Akbar Padamsee, Sohan Kadri, Shroten Ghoshal. Adhering to such elements, often to the elements of nature and landscapes, these artists simulated a connection with the transcendent realm, reaffirming to the spiritual possibilities of art, as spirituality is also a process of integration. Paintings by Akbar Padamsee. I don't go into the details anymore as time is running out. J. Swaminathan, his famous Bird and Hill series, where we notice that he tried to find a combination between the tiny bird perched upon the solid, stable hillock, executed often in flat, vibrant colors, metaphorically speaking about the transitory existence of one's own self. J. Swaminathan. And then comes the Banaras series by Ram Kumar, which creates a visual correspondence between the ancient holy city and the cultural inheritance of the land. His most acclaimed abstract connotations of the Western abstractionism transforms the whole into a tranquil and ethereal level of spiritual wanderings. The idea of spiritualism as if interiorized and immortalized into the age-old settlements on the banks of the holy river Ganges. Sri Aurobindo had mentioned Indian culture recognizes the spirit as the truth of our being and our life as a growth and evolution of the spirit. Paintings by Sohan Kadri, Shrutin Ghoshal, Biren Dev. Though Indian art with its evolution has moved ahead and incorporated varied new thoughts and ideas, yet the innermost understanding still retains back the ethos of our indigenous philosophies and culture termed as tradition. In the recent past, with the publication of Orientalism by Edward Said, once again the dialogue between the Eastern as well as the Eurocentric thoughts and ideas of we, the colonized Indian nation, reopened with a renewed interest. It is therefore very challenging and difficult to categorize artists belonging to free and post-independent India with any specific style or movement because colonial history cannot be erased and therefore contemporary India continually negotiates its relationship to its past through the constructions inherited from colonialism. Adhering to such cultural dilemmas and views and multiple expressions by various artists, Tag Mehta's Mohishashur Murtini or alike works from the same series exemplifies his social awareness, scarred by partition, its agonies and struggles, the contemporaneity of the subject surpassing any theological dogma. Paintings by Taj Mehta, Mahishasur Murdini as if originated as a quest for the effective worldview which could only be transmitted because of the intangible, mysterious yearnings of creativity, that which actually emerges from the rare realization inside a sublimation to spirituality. Whether we acknowledge it or not, the lofty ideals of spirituality actually encourages an artist towards any creation and remains as the driving force to any creative endeavor. I end by the few lines of the famous Sufi poet Rumi: "Soul receives from soul that knowledge, therefore not by book nor from tongue. If knowledge of mysteries come after emptiness of mind, that is illumination of heart. And to my understanding, art is such a consciousness which illuminates our hearts." Thank you. Thank you.
The most unpleasant task is to orally discussion session. I have to welcome him. I have to be looking Dr. Parimu for point of time. And many thanks to Professor Kaur and Professor Parimu. Dr. Parimu has enlightened us with a very unknown text, illustrated manuscript of Jain philosophy. I was recollecting that we have in Bengal many manuscripts stored in the Shepherd Society, profusely illustrated, Tantric text and other texts also, collected by Lalendra Mitra, Harpur Shastri, etc. But Dr. Parimu enlightened us also about the technicalities of the paintings. What are the materials used? What are the implications of PS come? I think that he will comment on these also. The technicalities of the paintings you have presented, the use of colors, the meaning of the use of colors used, and the materials used by the painters, etc. But what he has presented has enlightened us about a very unknown text we have never seen it. On the other hand, Dr. Sohini Dhar has elaborately traced the concept of spirituality in our Indian tradition and particularly in modern Indian art. Here I am rather perplexed about contradictory terms are there. What is religious? What is spiritual? Could we equate both the concepts in the same category? Anything religious may lead us to spirituality. Any fine piece of poetry or song may lead us to spirituality. To my understanding, spirituality, philosophically speaking, categorically, categorization of the human realizations, let us say. There is religion, there is epistemology, there are so many categories. But spirituality is above these categories, I think. One a religious person who doesn't believe in any religion, who is outside the category of religious people or religiosity, may realize and spell out or express in his own terms his feeling of spirituality. Often we confuse religiosity and spirituality and put them, jumble them up in the same category. And I was rather perplexed that Dr. Dhar has put also nationalism in that category. It should be better to discuss things outside the time permit, and everyone is waiting for next session.
Exactly.
So these are the reactions I will put to you, and may request you to think of it. What is religiosity, what is spirituality, and could we put them in same category and same breath? That cannot be done. Spirituality is superior to any of our creativity or any other activities, social or personal also. And it is spirituality is a very specialized personal experience. Very personal experience. How to express this, that depends on that person. He may express it through his abstract art form, no doubt. One of his raga, any raga of classical music, or any undescriptive statement in poetry, such as প্রথম দিনের সূর্য প্রশ্ন করেছিল সত্তার আবির্ভাব, বৎসর বৎসর কেটে গেল পেল না উত্তর. Nothing is being narrated in here. Only one feeling above everything, above all the worldliness is being thrust in these words. বৎসর বৎসর চলে গেল, দিবসের শেষ সূর্য শেষ প্রশ্ন উচ্চারিল, কে তুমি, পেল না উত্তর. You may call it philosophically, it may be agnostic. Nothing could be done, nothing could be realized. That is also spiritual, that also may be spiritual realization. That you may express in various ways. But you cannot mix up these categories. This is my humble presentation to you and humble reaction. Thank you for this, attending this session. Thank you, Dr. Parimal. So travel, please keep with us. Thank you, Mr. Thor, for being in this session.